good. Thanks, sir. Mr. Tucker, okay. It's great to see everybody. I'm quite impressed. Quite impressed that everybody got in here, got seated in the right spot. That's a good sign. I'm going to try something new just to see how this will go. And I've actually had some encouragement and some inspiration from our back row back here. They've requested the wave. So let's see if we can do this just real quick. On that side, I'm going to see if you can stand up and make the wave go all the way over and all the way back. You guys got to start. You're the leaders. Ready? Go.
Oh, yeah!
Come on. Hey. Got all the way over and everybody thought they were done. Okay, that wasn't too bad. We'll work on it. We got plenty of opportunity. Well, I'd like to welcome you to our first primetime session this year. I know there's some anxiety over primetime. I know in the past we've got some feedback from the students. We're going to continue to get that feedback and try to tweak it. I think you'll find already that it's going to be a different environment. We've gotten feedback from juniors and seniors, and appreciate that, and keep that coming, that they would like larger group sections. We had some lessons. We're going to keep some of those lessons. We're going to modify some of those to try to meet what you're asking for, because it's about you. So please keep that feedback and those comments coming. We want to stay in touch with you. This year, Primetime is going to focus around two things. First, something called Rachel's Challenge. Mrs. Campbell will talk a little bit more about that. That's more of a somber note, okay? The second one, that Primetime throughout the year, the theme is going to be, is fun, okay? So you kind of have the opposite, yeah, represent. So you kind of have the opposite spectrum. You kind of have a somber note, which is important for you to understand that it's somber and we need to act appropriately. And then there's also a time where we get to do the wave and kind of do some of those types of things. So please, that's a risk, because whenever we take that risk, we want to make sure that you know when to be somber and appropriate and when to have fun and be appropriate. So I think that's a risk you guys can handle. We're willing to take this year. So again, that's what our lessons will be around in Primetime this year. We're going to be around Rachel's Challenge and having a lot of fun. So we're going to try to package those that way. That's what this assembly is going to be about as well. The first part is going to be around Rachel's Challenge and Ms. Campbell. The second part is going to be around having a little bit of fun. So with no further ado, please help me welcome Ms. Campbell.
Thank you. For those of you who don't know me, I am Mrs. Campbell. Thank you, Mr. Wagner, for the brief introduction. So I'm going to take a little bit of time this morning to talk to you guys about that one aspect of Primetime this year, and that is Rachel's Challenge. And maybe some of you have heard about Rachel's Challenge, maybe some of you have no idea what it is. So hopefully by the end of my little discussion here this morning, you guys will have a good idea of what what Rachel's Challenge is about. So I'm going to start and talk a little bit about myself. And as some of you know, this is my second year here in Harlan. I moved here from Colorado Springs, Colorado. I attended college in Colorado Springs. I went to high school in Colorado Springs. And in April of my senior year in high school, something happened that forever changed my life, forever. And forever changed the lives of hundreds, millions around the world, especially in this country. And as I look back and I think about that day, I remember it very, very clearly. I remember that we had a half day at school, and I had plans with a friend of mine. She was to be my college roommate. We had plans to go to the Colorado Rockies baseball game that was going on that afternoon. And so she got out a little bit earlier. She didn't have a last period of the day, and I had a last class, so I went, and then I went to meet her at her house for lunch, and then we were going to take off and drive up to Denver. Colorado Springs is about 60 miles from Denver, about from here to Omaha, for those of you that don't know that. And so I went over to her house, to Amber's house, and I got over there, and the TV was on, and I didn't really pay much attention to it, but I walked in and she goes, "Hey, there's some hostage situation or something going on at some high school in Denver." And so I was like, "Oh, well, that kind of sucks." But we didn't really think that much of it. It was just kind of like, "Oh, well, bummer. Glad I'm not there," kind of thing. And so then we got in the car and we were getting ready to drive up to Denver. We were really excited. just the two of us, seniors, you know, and going to Denver, big stuff. And so we got in the car and we turned on the radio, and there was no music on, anywhere, nothing, just the news on every single radio station. And I'm getting chills right now thinking about it. And some of you have experienced a day like that, September 11th, where there was no music on the radio. Well, there was nothing but news talking about that little hostage situation, and we realized at that point that it was not just a little hostage situation, and the school wasn't just some school in Denver. And I'm sure you probably have an idea now. That school was Columbine High School, and that hostage situation was the largest high school shooting in U.S. history. And that day changed how I live my life, how I treat myself, my respect for myself, and my respect for others. And I feel very passionately about that. And that lives with me. That day is very, very vivid in my mind. Some days I can remember it better than my own wedding day. There are very few days that I remember as well as that day. And I remembered that day very clearly this last April when a lone gunman decided that he was going to take the lives of 30 or more, I don't remember exactly how many, at Virginia Tech, and then take his own life. And I was reminded, and I talked to some of you who were in my classes on April the 20th, the anniversary of Columbine High School, and I talked to you guys last year about it and took a minute to kind of encourage you to be kind to your schoolmates that day. And while I was watching the news about the Virginia Tech shootings, I saw some information about a school assembly program called Rachel's Challenge, and I was really interested in it. And so Rachel's Challenge was started by a man named Daryl Scott. And Daryl Scott is the father of the first student who was killed at Columbine High School. Her name was Rachel Joy Scott. She was killed in the grass outside as Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris were going into the school. So she was the first student killed. Her name was Rachel Joy Scott. And she was an amazing, amazing person. She kept journals and diaries and wrote numerous essays for school. And she was a person who was filled with life, filled with compassion, and filled with kindness. And she believed strongly that if one person, if you're just kind, if everybody is kind to just one person, then you can start a chain reaction of kindness. And I've actually seen some commercials kind of targeting that same kind of situation. So she believed and lived her life with that kind of mindset, that kindness can make a difference, that one person can start a chain reaction of kindness. So that is what Rachel's Challenge, the program Rachel's Challenge kind of deals with. It deals with kindness and compassion and living your life for yourself and for others in a way that is beneficial to everyone. And so on September 7th, we're going to have a presenter come from Rachel's Challenge. We're not quite sure yet who our presenter is going to be. You're going to come here. It's going to be at this same time. You're going to sit in your same seat, and you're going to listen for 1 hour. You're going to listen about Rachel's life, and you're going to hear about the lives of some students at Columbine High School, and you're probably going to see some graphic images of that day, and you're going to see how her life was an example to others and how she lived her life. And they're going to present to us 5 challenges. I'm not going to go into what those 5 challenges are, but there are 5 of them, and that's why it's got its name Rachel's Challenge. And those 5 challenges are going to be the main focus of Primetime this year, those 5 things. So that's Friday, September 7th. You guys are going to come here and you'll be presented with Rachel's life and then those 5 challenges. And then the next day, on Saturday, September 8th, there's actually going to be a chance for the community to come and experience the same thing that you guys are going to experience. So if you are really impacted by it, you can go home and invite your neighbor, or your mom, or your aunt, or your grandpa, or your Uncle Joe, or whoever you want to invite. So there's something for us. The middle school is also going to come, not with us, but they'll come later on Friday. And then Saturday, September 8th at 7 o'clock, right here in the auditorium, there's a chance for the community to experience what you guys are going to experience. So, so on Friday, that's September the 7th, there's also going to be a 1-hour training that is going to teach about a little bit more about those 5 challenges. And that is only going to be for for select people. That's going to be for a few staff members and 30 pre-selected students. So over the next 2 weeks, some of you may get an invitation, and it'll have details in the invitation that you are going to be invited to come to this 1-hour training, and you don't have to go. We don't want you to feel like you have to go if you really don't feel that this is something that you want to be a part of. But the 30 of you, whoever you may be, you'll get an invitation, and if you don't want to come, there'll be details in the invitation on. You can let myself or Mr. Wagner or someone else know that you just don't feel that that's something you want to be a part of. I hope that every single one of the 30 of you, whoever you may be, will take full advantage of it and come and be a part of that 1-hour training session. And then, aside from prime time, there will be another time that you guys can come and we can kind of get together and talk about Rachel's Challenge and talk about the culture of kindness and compassion. And that is a club that I am the sponsor of, and that is the Friends of Rachel program, the FOR, F-O-R, for Friends of Rachel. And so that club is going to continue to work on the 5 challenges as well as other ideas relating to the idea of chain reaction of kindness. So that 4 club is for anybody. Those 30 students, any staff member, if you are really impacted by what you see in Rachel's Challenge and what you hear and what you feel, and you want your family members, we need adult sponsors. If you want your mom, and you go home and you talk to your mom or your dad and they feel really passionate about it and they want to come be a part of the 4 club, absolutely. So you guys look on the student information centers. There's three or four of them. 4 of them. There's one upstairs, there's one right outside here, one kind of by Mrs. Duvall's classroom by the middle school, and then there's one by the front office. So look for information on the student information centers about the next 4 meeting if that sounds like something you might be interested in. And if you just have questions about Rachel's Challenge, the website is outstanding. It's www.rachelschallenge.com. There's a good 10-minute video that you guys can watch for information about Rachel's Challenge if you this kind of gave you a little bit about it. So what does this have to do with prime time? And how are we going to turn this, as Mr. Wagner said, it's kind of a somber kind of thing. How are we going to turn this into fun? So I don't want you guys leaving today thinking that prime time is going to be sad and thinking about, Columbine every prime time we're going to have to deal with this horrible, horrible issue. It's not going to be that way. The idea, I would think, behind Rachel's Challenge and behind prime time is this going to be some time for us to get together in groups and start to look for the good in yourself and look for the good in others, because there's entirely too much negativity in the world. If you ever watch the news, it's probably just bad stuff most of the time. So prime time is going to be a time for us to get together and look for the good in others, look for the good in yourself, and look for ways that you can make a difference in other people's lives. And look for ways that you can make a difference in how you get along with others and how we get along together as a school and how we can get along despite our differences. And we're going to have some fun doing that. We're going to have some fun learning how to get along. And Rachel's Challenge is going to teach us, is going to give us those 5 challenges and going to show us that despite our differences, we all can get along and we can all be accepting of each other and we can have a good time. And everybody can feel safe being who they are and feel safe to have a good time. Because I don't know about you, but I certainly can't laugh if I'm uptight and don't feel safe and feel like if I make one sound, everybody's going to look at me and think I'm an idiot. So Rachel's Challenge is really going to give us, hopefully it's going to give us those tools to really feel safe and comfortable and relax and have a good time and have some fun and smile. So on that note of fun and smiling and feeling safe, where's Mason? Your student body mayor, Mr. Mason Beaker. He's going to come. Oh, here's Mr. Wagner.
Let's thank Mrs. Campbell. That was a great I just saw Mason running as fast as he could, just through that door, No, I thought I saw him just up. Is Mason up there? He's around somewhere. Okay, this actually gives us a great opportunity. Boy, I was so impressed with Mrs. Campbell. Excellent job. Thank you. Articulated yourself well. This is going to give us one more opportunity now to transition to the second part of prime time. We talked about Rachel's Challenge and we talked about fun. Now, we did the wave, okay, but this group right here, you guys have a lot of pressure on you. Because the question is, do you stand up and then sit back down and stand back up for the wave to get it going that way? Or do you stand up and then kind of do a half thing to keep the wave going back that way? Because that was kind of the problem last time. So let's give this a shot as we transition into the second part of prime time with a focus this year, which is fun. And we're going to see if we can do this. I know you guys did a great job last time. You got it going. I mean, there were armpits waving, hair. Oh, it was great. Okay? All right, dude, you're early. You're early. Oh, he's talking about the bow. All right, that's good. I like that. That's good. All right. Okay, all right. You ready? Okay, don't be the weak group here. All right, ready? Go. Good job. All right. That's about it. Okay. Mason. Mason. All right, let's hear it for Mason.
Thank you. I didn't say stop. Come on. Standing ovation right there. I just made that up. I did. Oh, Mason, you're excited. I hear you're going to entertain us when we're out there. Yeah? I was just going to explain to you that we got a lot of great things coming up, you know, for student council, band, other stuff. Basically, I'm going to pull off my routine that I plan to do now. First of all, thank you, Josh, for going on such short notice. It was a lot. That's tiring stuff, and this is choking me, bro. All right, down to business. First of all, thank you all for attending. I know prime time gives the impression of death and threatening to hang yourself, but we're not going to do that. We're going to enjoy it. I mean, with the wave, that was incredible, but I want to do like the wave where I point this, but then I'm going to fake out over here, and I'm going to go over this way, and you guys don't stand up. Then I'm going to go back over. I'm going to overlap. Can we because it was my dream. Can't wait? Awesome. All right. Gonna start over here. All right, watch my hand. Wait for my hand to come across, and then you stand up and yay! You stand up. But if my hand does not come, you do not stand up. Okay? Here we go. All right. Okay. Oh, careful! I didn't put my hand. Okay, ready? Stand! Let's go! Oh! Go back! There it is! Good job. All right, now. Good job. That's to you. That was amazing. All right, time's running out. I'm just gonna tell you. That's you. I'm just gonna tell you what's coming up. Friday night we have back to school dance. I hope to see you all there. It's gonna be fantastic. Yeah, woo. It's gonna be fantastic. I want to see you all there getting jiggy with it. I learned this new move. Not the salt and pepper. It's like we do this. See that? I'll show you the salt and pepper. You laugh now, but you wait till you're on the dance floor. You're gonna love it. All right, so we have the dance coming up. Rachel's challenge. It's gonna be an incredible year. Homecoming. I'm sure all of you are excited for homecoming. Yeah, guess what the theme is? Anybody? Yes! And we're gonna love it. Right? Right? By round of applause, who's gonna like it? Really? None of the girls are clapping. That's amazing. What's those? All right. We have the play coming up. We have auditions for the play. I hope if you are at all talented in front of people. Is it a musical or a play this year? Play. Play. We all can sing. Do we know what play it is? Nobody knows what play. Okay, so we have tryouts for that coming up. Football. When does that start? The August 31st. Right? Nobody's excited for that. Got it. Awesome. Huh? I'm excited for football. Woo! This is Iowa. Yeah! All right. Without further ado, I'm going to hand over to the real entertainment. These guys performed for us a little over 6-7 months ago, I think, and it is still lodged in my memory on how great it was. I remember it as huh?
We got volleyball.
Yeah. And cross country.
Yeah.
Woo! Who said? I heard a guy's voice talking about volleyball. You forgot volleyball. Okay. Headband. Yeah. Marching band. Okay, that was quiet. And the Halo theme song that I just danced to. We will be playing that. I will be conducting that. I will be in a wicked, awesome tux. Ladies, take yourselves. I've been told I look like a penguin. I disagree. I look more like a lemur. All right. So please give it up for none other than who's the other guy? Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell and Mr. Bruns with Lazy Sunday.
Woo!
All right, let's give it up one more time for those people. Straight from the hood.
Out of Compton. Straight out. All right. If you have not, this is a Saturday Night Live skit. So go to YouTube, type in Lazy Sunday, make sure it's the original. So that's where, if you're not familiar with it, that's where we get it from. See the original, it's not quite as good as this, but pretty close. The scary thing is that we could pretty much do this live without the lip sync. We know it so well. We will consider doing that, the lip sync this year, performing live. We'll consider that. Where it's actually us singing. All right, I'm not speaking for myself. I guess I shouldn't put words into his mouth. But anyway, that's the background of this lip sync competition. I want to dedicate it to Mr. Swanson. Where's he at? Mr. Swanson, we love you.
Oh, Vanilla Ice would be impressed. I saw Mr. Swanson do one of these. Wow, I'm a whole different man after that. I just gotta tell you that. That was good. That's good. I was impressed. Okay, we are coming down the home stretch and wrapping up kind of what the first primetime assembly of the year is or encompasses. And so, just a quick check for understanding to make sure we're all on the same page. Because again, we're going to reiterate the fact that your feedback is important. We're tweaking lessons as we speak for the juniors and seniors. Freshmen, sophomores, a great curriculum in place for you. And so that feedback is going to be important so we can continue to try to get some things out there that are relevant to you. So, we might get out of here just a little bit early if I can get correct answers. So my check for understanding, I'm going to pick someone out. The question I'm going to ask this person is, what are the two foci? Is it foci? Do I say focuses? No, it's foci, isn't it? Okay, foci of this year's primetime. Two foci. You know, when I'm looking at people, they're looking at us and their heads go down. Don't look at me. All right, Chronicles of Narnia back there, you got it. Go ahead, my man. What are the two foci this year for primetime?
Kindness.
Kindness?
Understanding.
Understanding. Wrong answer. It's kind of like that, but we're looking for two things. I need somebody who's cerebral here that can kind of wrap their hands around the two things that we said. I got people pointing here. Let's have, I got the volunteer right here. The two, I'm going to the pointer because she's the pointee, you're the pointer. The two foci. I'm trying to get you guys out of here early. No one wants to leave early. All right, we got a guy right here that's been volunteered to do this.
Fun and Rachel's challenge.
Excellent, fun and Rachel's challenge. All right. There was a smattering of other information that was spread out. I'm going to ask another question here. When is the Rachel's Challenge assembly? Yes?
September 7th.
September 7th. Good job. All right. Nice job. Okay. All right. And when is the parent or community night for Rachel's Challenge? They come out and actually get a chance to look at it.
September 8th.
Excellent. September 8th. Nice job. All right. September 8th. Okay. All right. We've wound up, but hopefully we've modeled what we talked about, which is Rachel's Challenge. You'll get that assembly. There'll be some follow-up lessons to walk through. What my man in the back said, kindness, understanding. So he was right, so to speak. Okay? And then there'll also be some fun activities sprinkled in through there. So please keep those two things in mind. I appreciate your energy around it. Really good feedback on primetime. We're just going to continue to make that better because of you. Okay? All right, now, your second period class starts at 9. It starts at 9:45 rather than 9:50 because we're letting you out a little early, okay? You don't want to? It'll be second hour. It'll be second hour. Yeah, whoever said third hour, thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, questions? Okay, here we go. Thank you.